Good morning. I'm Reverend Roy Atwood. Thank you so much for joining us for Palm Sunday. I hope you got your palms ready. At my last church, sometimes we didn't have like palms from trees, but we would take our palms and put glitter on them because it was pretty gay, let's be honest. Here are the announcements we've got coming up this week. Holy Week, Maundy, Thursday, we're doing a service at 6:30 in the upper room with St. Paul UMC. Dr. Lucretia Faison is preaching. She's incredible. You definitely want to come for that service. If you don't mind, go ahead and register for that because we need to know how much soup to order because there will be soup at the service. And right now we know more people are coming than are registered. You're like, how much soup do we get? We don't know. So go ahead and register for that. Good Friday service. The choir will be leading that Tenebrae service at 7:30 p.m. on Friday. And I believe the youth are doing the readings this year. We were like, hey, the clergy went to music and arts and like, we're ready to do the readings. And they were like, we don't need you this year. Okay, fine. Easter Sunday, we've got 3 services, 8 a.m. Youth-led Easter service, which we're going to talk about more in a second. The modern service is at 9:30, special time. If you're a modern person, it's an hour earlier. And then the traditional service is at 11. And coming up soon, in our last episode, we talked about the Four Rise Golf Tournament. That is happening on April 28th. So if you want to go ahead and register for that, again, you don't have to be a golfer. There's a putting element that anybody can do. And you can also just come for the dinner and silent auction and award ceremony in the evening, if that's your jam. So there are a lot of ways to support the Rise Fund. Also, you can sponsor the tournament or sponsor a hole, and you don't even have to be there. And it's like, I've got things to do on Monday, April 28th, but I'm going to sponsor a hole, so that's good. Okay, now let's talk more about the youth-led Easter service coming up next Sunday. Dorian.
Roy.
You work with the youth.
I do.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode.
Glad to be here.
I did not warn you that this was happening.
No. It was a surprise to
me,
and I think to you.
Yes. We looked at the calendar and we're like, oh my gosh, if we're going to talk about the youth service, we got to do it this week.
I still like the idea that I could have predicted what's going to happen.
Yeah. So we had scheduled you to talk about it next week, which would have aired after the service had happened, which does not make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Or to anyone, really. It made sense to past me,
could have been
which
fun.
Did not know what was going on, apparently.
Yeah, I get it.
But now we're talking about it. Appropriate timing ahead of time.
We did it.
What are we where, why, when? What's going on with the service? Where is it?
So much is going on with it. So
I've heard a lot of rumors. So I'm ready to break it down.
Yeah, you should. First of all, what you should know, there's 48 to potentially 49 kids involved in this service.
I'm overwhelmed.
As am I. Well,
who had these children? Why are they here? There's so many of them.
There's a different class we can talk youth.
About how it happens.
But
is this higher than normal for youth?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
We've experienced a lot of growth in our youth ministry,
That's
so
awesome.
this is kind of matching what has been happening in our programming. This is my first time planning a service with 48 children, and the fascinating thing is most of them want a speaking role. But
you would think some of them would be shy.
Some of them are our introvert. We've got greeter. I told them you don't have a speaking role, but you still have to talk to people. You still have to, good morning, welcome. Here's a bulletin.
And they're in
passing out flowers. We've got kids passing out.
Hold on, there are flowers.
There's flowers, Roy. I forget you haven't seen this yet.
No, okay. I have an admission to make.
You just didn't come last year. Okay.
Not only did I not come to the Easter service sunrise or the youth-led Easter service last year.
Right.
I have never in my entire life been to the early service on Easter Sunday. And I take that as a point of pride.
Wow.
Should I? No. Should I be ashamed of myself?
Are you hurting 48, potentially 49 youth?
Yes.
Maybe.
And
You're okay with that?
I shouldn't be.
No.
And you shouldn't be either. So
it's okay.
We're going to need everyone to be there.
Yeah.
They have fragile egos, right? They're not fully developed.
Right. Yeah.
They're
still cooking.
They're do people like me? I don't know.
Right.
They need people to
like me. It's
I know, and they think no because
right.
I didn't go last year.
They think about you so much.
I can't. I'm sure they do.
Easter Roy.
Right, and it's is he going to be there?
Right.
Is he not going to be there?
That's the big debate right
it's what everybody's talking about. So everybody needs to go to support them.
Yes, yeah.
And there are 48 of them, maybe 49.
Maybe 49.
What are they? So they're passing out flowers.
Yes. So
Seeds?
Seed packets are kind of our takeaway, but there's a whole
Okay.
point in the service. It's a very beautiful moment where we start with a plain old cross covered in chicken wire. And then
No, I liked
there's
it.
a-
I liked
thank you so
there was a
much.
commitment.
I committed
there
to
was a
it.
commitment to the bit.
Thought about it
could,
and I said-
could you do it again?
chicken wire.
Oh, good. I had a friend in high school that was like, I don't repeat, because she was always like doing silly,
I
stupid
might
things.
adopt that.
And she was, whenever you said, do it again, she's like,
missed it.
sorry, don't repeat.
You missed it.
Yeah.
But then people are invited to come up and decorate the cross. So it's this
Okay.
moment of like beautiful transformation. Easter, hope, light,
Easter.
love.
Interesting. I've heard about it.
Yeah, you should read into it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the service like? What's the order? What are we thinking here?
So here's the cool thing about Easter service with the students is that we started this process 4 weeks ago, planning it 4 weeks ago. And it literally starts with saying, hi, so what elements of worship do you want to have? And we put them all up on these sticky notes and then they get to move them around. So they're like, litany. And I'm like, so what's a litany? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, great, let's like talk about that.
That's awesome.
Or a call to worship or a homily or whatever. So they
So it's
name
like
things
blank page, complete blank page.
every year,
Yeah.
blank page.
That's awesome.
It typically kind of has a certain flow, right? We eventually get there.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, this year they threw out the idea of liturgical dance.
Wow.
There isn't going to be that. I don't know. This is not false advertisement.
Wow.
I'm just saying that was an
It was
idea.
put on the table.
It was put on the table.
See, I'm lazy, and what I would do is I'd pull up the file from last year and be like,
Right.
do we even need to edit it? Like,
Listen,
is this good?
in my wildest dreams? But they do.
They want to
like,
be involved.
encourage the students to be creative.
to learn.
Yeah.
and-
But it's a
gosh.
4-week process.
So how do you get from there to
Sticky
where?
notes to this,
Yeah.
by the grace of God.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how do they narrow it down?
A lot of discussion. These teens, a lot of discussion.
Now, I heard you say in a previous conversation about this that you had to encourage them that some of the ideas did not make sense, like the order of things.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, like logistics in worship of like when people sit and stand is something that comes naturally to those who are in the service a lot.
Yeah.
You're really thinking about those mobility issues or, like I don't want to sit and stand.
Right.
We're not,
It's like,
that's
yeah.
not who we are.
Yeah.
So there's just a little of that where I like gently point it out. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. You have a hymn and then a sit down and then a
Then a
stand up. And
then
like,
it's-
let's like,
What
no
if
one
we
wants to
combine
do
the
that.
standing a little bit and then we combine the
Right,
sitting
right.
a little
So
bit?
it's like a little gentle nudging.
Yeah.
But some of it, we have this section where we usually read a poem and then do morning watch. And the students who signed up to do that part, there are 4 of them, decided that they all want to write an original poem.
I'm nervous.
Don't be. You're not going to be there. So
I'm
that's
just
really
nervous
okay.
for
You should.
everyone who's
I was
there.
a little nervous. And then
Maybe I will be there.
then I-
Maybe it's so early.
It's 8 o'clock.
I'm
What time do you have
so-
to be here anyway?
I have to be here at 8:40.
Okay. Poor guy. Poor guy.
That's not that much earlier.
It's really not. And it's in our parking lot.
Also,
Like,
the dog wakes me up at 6:30. See, I used to
Bring
be
the
like,
dog.
I don't wake up until whatever, but
had a dog at last year's service.
she is 70 pounds of pure muscle.
Bring it on.
She would probably result in the broken hip of at least one congregant by just jumping on them and
And we
knocking them
welcome
over.
her. We welcome her.
I know we welcome all people, but we don't welcome all behaviors. Have you heard that one before?
Wow, that's a good one. I might need to write that down.
That's not my original. I learned that one.
Okay.
So,
know
but so
that.
we welcome all dogs, but we don't welcome all dog behaviors.
Right?
And my dog's behavior would not be welcome at this institution.
Okay. Okay. I believe you.
Where were we?
We were
The
talking
poems,
about
poems.
So I too was a little like, oh, in my mind
Uh-huh.
it was just one poem, and then we did this like silent morning watch, and like the city buses roll by, so it's very like LOL silence, city
Right.
silence.
City silence.
But then they all wanted to write their poems, and then I read them.
Oh, okay. So they've been vetted.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
They're
good.
so good that I'm like, well, we're reading 3 poems, everyone. Buckle in.
Wow. How are they long? Are they?
They've been edited. They've been
Okay.
we've
Okay.
been-
Okay.
One did ask to write a haiku, and I was like, great.
Great,
Write
that's
a
short.
haiku about Easter, sure. So we welcome all.
I like the
ideas here.
creativity because
It's
I
fun.
feel like
it's pretty fun.
I feel like when I was that age. It's like, write a poem. It's like, do I have to?
I know.
Like, it's not.
And I didn't even ask. I was like, find a poem, but they wanted to write it.
Write a poem. Wow.
It's pretty cool.
They're so inspirational.
And we have like all the music during the service is student led.
Well, there's rumor that there's some unique musical offerings.
Yes, as when you have an open sign up, some kid who like plays the tuba is like, put me in.
We're having tuba?
We're not.
That's an example.
Yeah.
That's an example.
Remember, someone's had to get cut out.
Right.
At one point, I did think we might have up to 3 clarinets. They all dropped out, and that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Could it be like a clarinet trio? But we don't have to worry about that now.
Who knows?
We don't have to worry about
What I can guarantee you, a bassoon that last year I called an oboe. And an
oboe and a bassoon are not
even worse.
Similar.
I printed it in the bulletin.
Wow.
I'm still apologizing. Willa, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
I apologize.
There is one that is similar to the bassoon, isn't there? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I didn't do band in high school.
I think they're very
so like
different.
the oboe and the clarinet are similar.
Right.
Like that's a reasonable mistake. Bassoon, it's
there
long.
Was no excuse. I
it's
messed
tall.
up. I messed up.
It doesn't. But in your defense, you didn't see her with it before you called
I've known
it an
the
oboe.
student since she was.
You've seen her play it before.
Yeah.
No excuse.
No.
Nadia
It's
Bolz-Weber, who was here a couple weeks ago, she tells this story about how she, with every congregant, when they join the church, she's like, I will upset you and disappoint you at least once.
Oh, I love that.
And just like,
Mine's.
I'm a human being. Like at least once I will disappoint you. So let's just get on the same page. Don't expect me to be perfect. So it happens, you know?
So the bassoon is my one ticket?
No. You get more.
Okay, I feel like we got to talk about Easter, man.
Oh.
Okay,
Easter.
bassoon.
Violin.
Violin, and then 3 different students playing the piano. Same instrument.
Same. Okay.
Students. Oh, an acoustic guitar.
And an acoustic guitar?
And an acoustic guitar.
Wow.
We've got singers. No dancing.
No dancing. How many singers?
4 singers.
4 singers? Are they all doing solos?
No. They're leading like the hymns.
Okay.
Yeah. We do have valet parking that starts at 9.
So it's like we need this to be under an hour.
Yes. Creativity within an hour.
That's ideal.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, as a worship leader, when you're working with people who are not used to planning worship,
right?
They're like, "I'll just talk,"
and
you're like, "No. You need to write it down.
Well,
you think you're gonna talk for 3 minutes and it's
wrong.
gonna be 15 minutes."
See, with the youth, I feel like it's opposite, where they naturally talk so fast that we really have to like work on slowing them down. So like, it's not going to be a full hour service.
Okay.
You should know that.
Okay.
I mean, not that it matters to you, but
I might be there. Wow, you don't even believe me.
You literally said never. How long have you been doing this gig?
So, how long have I been? I mean,
I've been early.
How many East? I mean, since I was a child.
And you expect me?
I'm 33 years old.
This year is the year.
I mean, maybe you sold me on it. We've got bassoons. We've got original poems. Bassoon. Violin. Original poem. Flowers. Seeds. What is there not to be excited about for this service?
Exactly.
And it's 48 young, impressionable minds who are counting on you, the congregation, to know that you care about them and that you want to see them and you value their work.
Right.
You've got to be there.
Just put your name in all of that.
I like sleeping, though.
Me too.
But you have to be here. This week, Palm Sunday. Kids are waving the palms.
I like your glitter idea.
Yeah, the glitter's fun.
I'm all in.
The glitter's fun. We're talking about silence. How do you feel about silence in general?
I love it.
You love silence.
Yeah.
Interesting. And not necessarily the answer I was expecting. My fiance hates silence.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay. Like, just let my mind. But like, if your mind is like racing, is that really silence? Are you saying just like not having music or like a Netflix show on or what?
You mean, I mean nothing in the background?
Yeah. No, I'm fine with that.
Wow. That's how I am. But he's like, I'm doing the dishes, or like we're about to leave, like we're going to put our shoes on. And he's like, let me put a song on so that I can put my shoes on.
Absolutely.
And it's like, this is taking longer.
Yeah, that's too much. I love silence so much, I will actively choose to have a car lunch by myself.
We need to hang out more and just not talk.
Silently.
Yeah. You know what won't be silent is our service today. Thank you so much for joining us for Palm Sunday. We're going to sing out and shout for joy. Looking forward to the kids doing the Palm Processional. As always, you can keep up with us on email, on our website, the events page on the website, or on Facebook or any social media. Thank you so much for joining us today.